Without wasting any more time, I need to call Brighton Mhlongo. You know him, he's a Bafana goalkeeper, he's a superstar, former Orlando Pirates player. And he brings along with him his co-founder, Oupa Manyisa, also another superstar. I need us to just give him a big round of applause as they make their way in. Brighton Mhlongo and Oupa Manyisa, the co-founders of My Football. There you go, gents. Welcome. Please grab your seats right next to us here on stage, and you can tell us a bit more about My Football CV. Mr. Spider, Mr. Ace, welcome. Welcome to the building. Yeah, you can say it. Ace. So obviously, I've just given a brief overlook of how My Football CV works, right? But I imagine you, as the co-founder of this app, you have a lot more information that you'd like to share with the people. Let's start with you, Brighton. I mean, the idea of My Football CV, where did it come from? Where are we right now with the app?
First and foremost, thank you guys for coming through. Wow, it's a very special moment for the whole team, because I wouldn't want to say for me, but for My Football CV family, it's a very special moment for us, and we are grateful that we'll be sharing this moment with you guys here. I mean, this started as a crazy idea, by the way, but I'll take you back to, we've had our background with Oupa and I. We've been like brothers throughout, from childhood, and obviously we went through the development phase. I went to Orlando Pirates Academy. He went to Africa Sport Academy. But prior to that, he didn't love football. This guy, he was on and off, So yeah, man, we got to a point where we were given the opportunity, by the academy to showcase our talent. And then throughout the years, we've been playing all these amazing tournaments, that were preparing us to be these successful footballers that we are today, But I want to take it back to a moment whereby if no one had given me that opportunity to showcase my talent at that young age, I wouldn't be where I am today, which I'm truly grateful for Orlando Pirates as well for giving me that opportunity. So fast forward, obviously he's the brains, I'm the loud one. So brains, time and again when he's sitting, is always thinking about what can we do to generate income or to generate, business opportunities. And besides business opportunities, while we're doing that, what can we do to give back as well? Because we see there's always tournaments, there's always this and that, but after the tournament, where do these players go? You find that time and again, it's only one player that gets scouted, and then the rest will have to wait for another tournament, which is going to be probably the next December, which is a long period, but where does that player go to? So that's where we came up with all these ideas. Actually, brains, that's when he came up with all these ideas. But yeah, man, that's how My Football CV came about, where we kind of looked at a situation whereby we're like, okay, within the corporate space, there's LinkedIn, right? And LinkedIn, that's where the CEOs, the accountants and so forth, that's where they meet and to sell themselves, obviously. And then on the other hand, on the football fraternity, we always see footballers posting nice video clips on the field, they showcasing their talent just for likes, So we're saying, as My Football CV community, we're saying to you guys, we can come up with something where within that space everyone can post, but to enhance their careers as well, So that's how My Football CV came about, in short, basically.
Awesome stuff. It sounds like
there's a lot that actually happens on the My Football CV. So Brains, I'm going to come to you. What can I say? Just in a nutshell, how we can actually just give us an actual example. So let's use myself. I know I get. Let's say there's a young William Mhlongo who's playing football and wants to be seen in using my football CV? How would that help him?
Just want to start by thanking you all for pulling through. William, for us to come with this thing is to help the younger guys, because if you can watch lately, there's no developments anymore. We were privileged enough to come through development ranks. So in your case, the only thing that you have to do is to subscribe, go into the app, post videos. We will invite you when the scouts come in to come to training clinics or training camps so that they can look at you. And at times they will see everything through the app and they won't let you know. We are going to be the only ones that knows that the agents and scouts are coming through.
And I think that was the big
Question on most people's minds, Jorge. Does this take away the need for a football agent or not?
Obviously, within my football app, to add on what Oupa said, is that we then thought that obviously there's people basically who don't get the opportunity to showcase their talent, or there's limited resources where players get scouted, as opposed to how we got our opportunities, right? So within the app itself, that's where now we're saying when you subscribe, because we've partnered as well with European teams, right? So what the European teams are trying to achieve is that now with their scouting departments, they'll be able to profile the player according to their criteria, according to their criteria. Therefore, when it's like that, we are saying to you, you have an opportunity whereby you subscribe. After subscribing, you put your stats within the app. After putting the stats, obviously, you post your videos the same way that everyone has been doing on your Instagram, where they're posting 30 seconds videos of their goals, of their free kicks, of their saves, all of that. So now, within the app, it doesn't discriminate with regards to age, gender, or any race. So we're basically saying it's open for everyone. And having said that, it's open for everyone in a sense that you can subscribe as a player, you can subscribe as a coach, and you can subscribe as well as an agent. So within the app, we've created our own community that will say, let's make this football thing work. Let's unearth this talent that has been hidden from all over the country. And by so doing as well, giving hope to footballers, aspiring footballers as well, who had lost that hope of turning professional. So now, within the app, all these things will be happening to a sense that we're pushing each other, and at the same time, we're improving our development sector at the same time. So those are the things that you guys can look forward to, because now, with our partners, what we've identified is that there's always a gap between our local brand and exporting players overseas as well. And while we're mentioning the overseas passage, we need to understand that the scouting in our country now, we feel like it's no longer at that point where you'd unearth talent after talent, time and again. It went to a point whereby they get to say to you, you need to be exceptionally good in order for you to be coming through without having any development exposure. So now we're gonna use this platform to give everyone a chance to say, you have the talent, show it. By so doing, we're gonna host also, together with our partners, training camps, whereby we bring everyone who's subscribed under My Football CV on those training camps. And then we invite coaches from different clubs, as well as our partners. I'm sure you're busy saying partners. So we've partnered with Espanyol, and then, we also in advanced talks with other teams as well from Europe, whom they've liked the whole idea, and they're very welcoming, especially with the sense that we'll be, cutting down on them having to go to that extent of scouting players and so forth. So we'll be basically doing it for them. So what they'll be doing is they'll be subscribing as well as our partners. Their scouting departments will be keeping track, keeping record within the app. So we see Will, if Will posts that, if his stats are amazing, obviously Will has played 10 games and scored 20 goals. There must be something amazing about this player, right? So within the app, that's when now you're going to have also the events column, whereby Will's going to post and say, I have a game over the weekend. So from my scouting perspective, then I'm saying, if Will is exceptionally good, I need to see this. So within that events column, the scout will then go and watch Will play. If they like what they saw, that's when now they're gonna get to interact with the player to say, okay, we think we can bring him in, And then we've established that within the app as well, we have also packages that we have planned with our partners, with the teams in Europe, to say we can bring those players for a 5 days assessment, so for a certain amount. So all of those costs that will be incurred, it will be within the app by subscribing and by buying coins and by, most importantly, loading content. The more you want to get exposure, you need to load your content. You need to obviously post your videos, your stats, everything has to be up to date. So to keep it simple, we're basically saying the same way that you've been doing with Instagram and your Facebook and your Twitter, you can continue doing that. But now, as opposed to you posting your content for likes, now you can post it to enhance your career. You can post it for scouts, for other coaches who are going to subscribe within the app to look at this talent. Because even the coaches that are going to be subscribing, they'll be saying, oh, they're not going to turn a blind eye when they see William is doing well. And it's going to be easier for them as opposed to say, I want to look for a platform where I'm going to go and see where am I going to watch this guy. So now it will be made easier for that person because within the app, all the information, relevant information will be within the app.
I like that, Brighton, and we're obviously going to show you how the app actually works. There's a video that we're going to show you
Late, but you've mentioned partners, and I'd like to call onto stage Natalie Barlow, who's from La Liga. Obviously, just words of engagement, and if you can just take us through how the partnership came about and how a South African young footballer or an African footballer who will now be on My Football CV will be seen by La Liga and other things on to the stage. Is Natalie not coming on? Andrew will be coming on. Enrique, excuse me, there. Let's give a round of applause for Enrique.
Awesome. First, thanks a lot for inviting us. We are very happy to be here with you guys. For us, it's amazing that as former players that you see people trying to bring new ideas to the football industry. At the end, for us, growing the football industry is one of the reasons why we are here in South Africa. And it's amazing to see new projects coming, not only from our side, but also here locally. First things first, my name is Enrique Swai. I'm the La Liga delegate here in South Africa. My colleague Natalie decided that it's not the day that she wants to speak to public. So I'm being told to speak to you guys. But yeah, as said, firstly, as part of the football family, to be here to see how there are new projects that are aiming to the football players and going to hopefully help many football players to be spotted and to be seen is something that I think is needed not only here in South Africa but everywhere in the world. So that's something that hopefully we'll see the feed going on more places. And beyond that, again, for us to see that there are more projects that are going to help grow the industry as a lot. I think that's amazing. See players going to not only being making the mark on the pitch, but also off the pitch is also a great story because you see so many of them, again, not only South Africa, but everywhere in the world, obviously also for us in Spain, that they finish their football careers, they have nothing else to do, and to see them making their own businesses, making their own companies, staying in the industry, making the industry being bigger and more welcoming for anyone. I think that's something that it's admirable. So again, from our side, thanks a lot for inviting us. Thanks for bringing us to the party, and we wish you guys the best of luck. And I think that's my cue.
Thank you so much, Henry. So obviously that makes things a lot more interesting for a South African footballer, young or old, any rate, whose CV is now on my football CV, right? Please take us, guys, through the workings of the app. What do I actually need? Is this subscription? Is it a paid subscription? Do I pay to be on my football CV? If yes, how much is it? And how long is it to be subscribed? Is it a yearly thing, or is it a once-off? How does it work?
Yeah, obviously with my football CV, what you need to do is you go to your app store. So we're on Android or iPhone. You search my football CV, we are there already. And then you download. Subscription, it ranges from between 17 rands to 24 rands, which is a monthly one. And then obviously when you log in, we'll show you later, well, there's a slide. When you log in, then that's when you get to select the profile that you want to use. You create your own profile, you show your stats. After signing up, obviously, you show your stats and everything. And then there's packages within the app which you get to buy coins, but that's for like obviously when on a later stage where we're gonna obviously show when there's training camps and whenever there's overseas trials and opportunities, that's when you're gonna use your coins to subscribe for those packages, you know. So everything that's gonna happen, it's within the app. So therefore, you sign up. We're basically saying sign up, put your CV, put your stats, and load content, load your videos. And then from there, whenever there's any opportunities, because now we'll be getting so many opportunities and so many invites and so many like training camps and trials from overseas exclusively, they'll be coming in to the My Football CV app as opposed to it being publicized or anything. So it's firstly going to hit the My Football CV app first, and then that's where you get first preference as opposed to if you're not a subscriber. So in simple essence, well, if there's a trial at Barcelona, and obviously we've never heard of that if we were here. So now these guys are saying, Espanyol, if there's a trial, they're sending it through My Football CV, giving My Football CV subscribers the first preference to say, here's an opportunity, you come through. And the good part about it is that we find that sometimes there's players that go overseas to seek for greener pastures, right? And these guys, when they go overseas, there's no transport. Oh, well, they have that ticket, but when they get there, they don't know where they're going to stay. They don't know what they're going to eat. So we are saying when you subscribe, within the coins that you'll be buying, all of that will be accommodated. So you rest assured, you know that you're going to Spain to only focus on football and making it big. Accommodation will be taken care of. Obviously, flight tickets will be taken care of with the coins that we buy, with the packages that we're going to be giving you guys on the app. So basically, you have to subscribe, look out for news, time and again, look out for new opportunities, and be active in a sense that whenever we invite you guys for trials, it's not only mainly overseas teams, because we're saying, if you're good enough to impress a scout from overseas, what's stopping you from signing with the PSL team or NFD team? So therefore, within the coaching clinics, we're going to invite coaches. I see here we still have Coach Ricardo Katza is here. We're going to have so many prominent coaches that will be coming through to watch the players within our training camps. And then if they like what they see, they get to interact with the player. We don't act as an agent or any agency of some sort. Our job is to present the opportunities. And then within that community, that's when we're going to interact and say, Will, we like you, we'd like to invite you for a trial and so forth. So that's how basically it's going to work.
That changes the game somewhat, Brighton, because Oupa, I mean, you probably know footballers whose dreams were dashed because A, they had the plane ticket to go trial in Europe, but then B, there was no plan beyond that. Right? So they get to Europe, they want to play football, but all these other circumstances are preventing them from further career.
It's true what you're saying, because it's difficult to go to a foreign country without accommodation or not knowing someone there. So we are creating a space where you're gonna go with someone from the My Football CV, who will go with you wherever you go. And still, we are not closing door for professional players. They still can subscribe if they still want to go overseas.
How would that work with the
Professional
players who are currently now signed with a
Say a PSL or
So in that sense, much as you are attached with the team that you're attached with, you get to a point where you get an offer. Let's say you are gone playing, representing your national team. So you find a team that
will approach you personally,
and then
you get to take that offer
to your
team, then you get to sit down. So we're broadening the net.
basically to say it's not only the team that can
Do that for you. We think you can
do it on your own as well. By
showcasing your
talent, by obviously
giving yourself that much needed
exposure that you feel like somehow you're not getting it. I'll make a
typical example.
whereby
you're
you're not playing, you're not a
regular.
right? You're not a regular, and
You don't
get much coverage.
average week in, week out, screenplay and everything when the team is playing. But because of training, you're doing well.
When you
doing
do
what-
training,
Your application, your work
ethic is amazing.
thing. By some luck, with
My football CV,
with
everything that you be posting,
posting, you don't know who's watching. And someone might say, how is he not playing? I think I need this kind of guy in my
team, then they can
Always
engage with you
and all
always try to work out something with your team.
team to say, can't we have this player? We can see you're not using him. If then the team decides to say, okay, if we got to see this from you, and how come
You're not seeing it,
probably they're gonna start.
start playing it.
So basically saying, we're giving you opportunity to put your career first and to make sure that you get much needed exposure that's needed for you.
to enhance your career. So if you're not playing, but you're
Still loading the
content, there's always some pressure from the fans who are going to subscribe and see, okay, but this guy is training hard, he's doing this and that, why is he not playing? We know power of media. So that's what we're trying to create, whereby we say, you have the talent, show it, so that it can be recognized and be appreciated.
appreciated. So if you do get that
Exposure, but you still
attached with your team, that's when now it's a matter of you engaging with the team that's approaching you,
and your
current team as well, and then you work out something.
First of all, congratulations. It's amazing that one thing about footballers is that when we're done playing football, we think that people are going to pay us the same money that they were paying us when we because, just because we've got a name. That's a big lie. I'm glad that you guys are versatile. You know, football will always end for you. Playing a career will always end. There's always things that you can do out with. I sit here and I look. Oh, I just signed up. I just signed up. I just signed up on the spot. I remembered when I was done playing football, I had the CV. So the first 4 pages it tells you where, and then I had 5 more pages that showed a lot of photos of me, my national team colours, and all those things. And then someone said to me, in the business world, he said to me, you can't have a CV like this because people don't have time for things like this. You know, because I wanted people to show people who are. But then, if I look at this now, you can load the CV, but you can also load your clubs. Now it's so easy. I mean, sometimes I ask people, I'm going to kick the ball now, and say, take my phone and make a small video, and then that already shows what I can do, so I can load it onto this app. So it's amazing what you guys have done. Also, what's nice is, I remember in 2014 I went to England, I was on a coaching course. And one of the questions was to one of the national team coaches. They said, what is the first thing that you do when you go and you have a big tournament for youngsters? And they said the first thing they do, they look for a hotel that's got unlimited Wi-Fi. And sitting in the room, I'm thinking, but why? And then he says it's easy for youngsters nowadays, they're always on their phones. So if you have unlimited Wi-Fi, you can send them the program because they're on their phone. So there's no excuse, so you don't have to print it out. And the times that we are living in, I'm at King's College in Brighton as the head of sports, and the kids are always on their phones. So we communicate with them on their phones. But what is also nice is that when you in grade 11 or grade 10, and you can already prepare your CV, because when you leave school, people already know about you. So I think this is my football and the emblem and how you guys have done it. I just take now again, I see the C and I see the V, so it's amazing. And I also see the football, and it just shows you that you guys are creative. And I know you don't talk a lot, and I can see that he talks a lot. But it's amazing that this is sometimes what you need. And here is a nice platform for us. Even myself as a coach, I've registered as a coach. I can't register as a player, I've started playing football. But it's nice, it's actually something that it's in your hand all the time. If the notification comes through. So if I can say this, I had an agent. So the agent was also the same guy who owned the club. Now, I want to say this. I think it's a nice platform to say it. Then I was at the club for 9 years. So I had an agent that was at the club for 9 years. But they never told me about the Sundance deal that came through. There was a Pirates deal that came through. There was a Chiefs deal that came through for me. And I only found out afterwards. And what they used to do, they used to extend my contract, the club. And I was like, yeah, nice, yeah. But looking back now, if I had something like this, the notification would have come through to me as a player. And I wouldn't have even, the club, they couldn't stand in my way, because then I could have just waited now with Euro, wait for 6 months and I could sign. So I think this is amazing. Yes, if you want something, you have to pay for it as well. Nothing is for free. And I think right at the beginning, what I like about what you guys said, that it is a business opportunity as well. You can't just do stuff like this and just expect. I think we're living in a time because, so I'm so excited for you guys. I'm gonna look forward to this because I also scout. So this makes it also a little bit easier for me to check the players, because a lot of players, they do. Not even go into. I remember I drove once. I drove once to the border of Venda to Yando, in somewhere there close to Zimbabwe on the border, just to go watch a player. And I mean, if I had something like this, it would have been so much easier. So young players, I see there's a lot of players here. Now you don't have an excuse. You don't need someone now to do something for you. Just pay the subscription and, it costs you, I think, it's in dollars. But you can convert it, it doesn't matter. I think I would pay for something like this, because it actually puts me out there, amongst the best. So well done to you guys for this initiative.
We just launched an app which is called My Football CV. So I think the name on its own, it says a whole lot. So therefore, we're making comparisons actually with the corporate space, where there's LinkedIn, people that get there and get to market themselves and everything. So obviously, because we are footballers, we have to do it in a pragmatic manner, where we like, okay, you have to post your videos, you have to load your content, your stats and everything, you showcase your talent out there. So we've created that opportunity and the platform whereby we're saying to the aspiring footballers out there, here's an opportunity for you to post your statuses, you post your stats and everything, the same way that you've been doing, like when you do it on your Facebook, on your Instagram. You load your content for opportunities to enhance your career. So that's why we basically came about this idea, and obviously to improve the development structures as well, to make sure that we give opportunities to people that have lost hope and who have limited resources and who don't have any scouting opportunities as well within their communities. It has changed to a sense that it has become very hard now, you know, whereas back in the days, my days, you knew that each and every game that you play, there'll always be a coach from whatever academy, you know, within the community who's coming to watch those games. It didn't even need to be a big tournament. Each and every social game that you'd play, there'd always be a coach of some sort or a scout from any team, you know. So now it's quite limited. It's only these major tournaments that are being played within the country. That's where you see one or two. And still, even those tournaments, they don't bring out, I mean, there's massive talent there, but they don't give out so many players that get to be scouted and get to be signed by teams. So we are saying now, while you're playing those tournaments, you have an opportunity now to make sure that you give these guys the chance to see you and to bring you over as well. You know, so it's one of those. So we're basically trying to say, scouting hasn't been at the level best that it's supposed to be at, and we want to bring back the days of that, and at the same time we're including now the digital side of things, because we all know now that the world is revolving now into this digital space. So that's what we're using My Football CV for. I'm glad you're asking that question, because I know it can easily be seen as if it's an agency. No, it's not an agency. It's the same app as your Instagram, as your Facebook, but which primarily focuses on promoting footballers, aspiring footballers, and giving them the opportunity to say, when you subscribe, when you load your content, when you get the likes, you're getting the likes, and at the same time, you're getting scouting opportunities. So whatever that happens within the My Football CV app, it's entirely your decision as a subscriber. You get an opportunity from whoever, they're going to approach you directly. They don't deal with My Football CV as an independent. Therefore, we are here to facilitate. We're creating that opportunity to facilitate and say, here's your platform, bring your stock, sell yourself, sell your stock in the market. And then whoever wants to buy the stock comes to you directly. They deal with you. Hence, there'll always be a button and a section where obviously when they ask how to contact you, you can give your email, you can give your phone numbers. So within My Football CV, our job is to facilitate that opportunity and the platform for you then to get the exposure. And then what you do with that talent and how you go about the obviously engaging with whoever's gonna be interacting with you, it's all on you and privately on you. And we are saying subscribe and just put your content. And then everything else, it lies on you. Hence, the slogan is, you've got the talent, now show it.
Yeah, finally today we gave birth. We don't know it's a boy or a girl, or as we say, boy and girl. It's our baby, My Football CV. It's where we're gonna introduce something new, where players, coaches, or agents can subscribe. After subscribing, they put on their videos, where they will be seen by the scouts from overseas. Obviously, we come through development phase. So all we wanted to do, my idea was to Brighton, let's open an academy, man. We have been there, we know how to run an academy. We grew up there. And he said, no, my guy, who's going to be there? And will the families be comfortable releasing the kids? Said, nah, man, okay, let's see. The guys are posting videos on Instagram, social media. And we said, why can't we come with something that we're going to ask people to subscribe, put their videos. At least they will be seen somewhere, unlike playing only during Easter or December games. I think it's an honor, and it's important for them to be part of us, because for me, when I grew up, the only thing that I knew was English Premiership. La Liga, I just knew La Liga recently. Yes, but a few years back, because all we knew was Manchester United, Liverpool. So Barcelona and Real Madrid, it was for our uncles. We never knew about it. So for them being here, it shows that they want players from this side of the world to come and play that side.